trenches. Ask a nigga what he benching. Triple digits, nigga, don't forget to mention. Whole hard in the trenches. Ask a nigga what he benching. Triple digits, nigga, don't forget to mention. Don't forget I got memories, dead stain the whole room if I let them bleed. Shit was dark, I let this little light of mine.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of the Trap or Die podcast. I can get rid of this. I get rid of this right now. There we go. Remove the stream cam. Boom. All right, we back. And appreciate everybody who is joining live. I appreciate everybody who's listening and watching on YouTube. We have a special guest in the building. Dre just dropped out for a second. I was going to check in, see how he's doing.
I'm right here.
He's back. Dre, how you doing, big dog? You all right?
I'm doing good, man. Had a great weekend. Now I'm ready to transition through the week. This is what I like to call the last sucker weekend. The last sucker weekend we had. This weekend coming up, we get football for the rest of the month, like until January, February. So I'm all good.
Yes, football. Look, college football. I didn't even know college football started Saturday. Like I thought it was next week, but it's back in full force. I love it.
I don't care who played this weekend. I'm watching everything.
Oh, for sure. My girl talking about trying to go to Allen Pond. I'm like, no. We didn't agree on this.
No.
We didn't agree on this at all.
Let's do that on Monday.
Yeah, worry about this later or Sunday. You know what I'm saying? That's a good day for her. But ladies and gentlemen, we have another Washington OG joining us this week. All of you all know him. That's in the Washington football community. Some of you all who are the casuals, you heard the name plenty of times. I'm sure of it. We got Doc Walker, former player, Super Bowl champ, and still a heavy presence in the Washington football community to this day. Doc, boss man, how are you doing tonight, man? And I appreciate you for joining us.
Oh, I'm doing great, man. I'm glad you guys have a format. That's what it's all about. Opportunity, man, is it hasn't always been this way. So I'm happy to see you guys extending. Absolutely.
First extending. I don't think you understand. Like, we appreciate the opportunity, you taking us up on the opportunity, because I'm sure you're familiar with one of the beat reporters, Lake Lewis. He told us about 4 months ago, man, always appreciate the people who are willing to help, and I think you're in that position to help us. So don't look at it as us giving you that opportunity. You are helping us out, man. So definitely appreciate it. And obviously, as we all know, you've been around. I mean, even before we started the show, I've known you for about. You don't know me, but I've known you for like 11 to 12 years, man. Radio, TV, all these things. You've been a staple in the Washington football like area and stuff in that regard, man. As many times I've seen you, how often do random people talk with you like, you know, they're the cousins? No matter how long y'all been apart, the conversation is always good. Do people in the fan base and people in the area, do they come up to you and talk to you like that, or just even on the phone calls when you're taking calls and stuff when you're on the radio?
Yeah, man. But, you know, I've been doing this close to 30 years on the air. And so my favorite part of it is the people and really understanding, because I've coached in the high school level out here. I've been involved with youth football with Mike Anderson when he started grassroots, and what that has extended to right now. And that Terrence Bird has taken it the Maryland Heat and done a fantastic job with our youth program, starting 6th grade up. University of Maryland, you know, just being a part of Mike Loxley. I mean, Mike when he was 12. So I gave, you know, he was hustling and at RFK, and that was my ticket guy. So I gave my tickets to. So I go back to the DMV through this whole process since 1980. And, you know, I'm in it. My goal is one more Lombardi trophy, and then I'm done with Cole. So I'm hanging in here, man, hoping to be able to get out of here sooner than later.
Look, I respect it. Well, the good thing is, and we'll get into it, right? The good thing is, on the surface, things are trending upwards. So, obviously, the quarterback position is the biggest thing that we have to focus on moving forward in terms of that ultimate thing. But that is, things are trending upwards, at least from what it looks like on the surface. And before we get into football, watching football today, there's not, you know, too many times where I have conversations with the players that, and I'm not calling you old, I'm not calling you old. All right.
No, I am.
Oh, no,
I'm aging. Yeah, I'm aging. I'm aging gracefully.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. We'll leave it at that. Aging gracefully. There's not too many times though that I get to talk to the players that played during my parents' heyday. So I have to ask you just about that time period. My family, Dre, I don't know about your family, right? But my parents, my aunts and uncles, all Scans fans, like that was them. And so this is the city is where they're from. That's who they root for, things like that. What I know you got this question a million times, but I have to ask it on here. What is it like playing for the team back then in the city during the era that you played in? Like just the overall environment.
Well, it was absolutely fantastic because we started off, we built something, we established a culture. And a town that was rabid. The town was fantastic before we ever got here. They went to the Super Bowl in 72. So when I was 12, I was like, wow, Brig Owens is from my hometown. So I had a vested interest in the Burgundy and Gold since I was 12. And so I saw it, and they won the Over the Hill Gang, the Wild Bunch, all those guys. When I got here in 1980, it was a sign right off, Georgetown, the Pall Mall said, "Hail to the new breed." And that was like introducing a new group of guys in. And, Jack Pardee, I played for 5 different head coaches my first 5 years in the league. So I understood this was winner take all, not what they give you, you got to take it. And nobody really cares about where you're from, where you were drafted, all that's garbage. All that matters is that can you be a part of a team, to me, that wins. And so from the 80s through it, we did our thing. Then Doug and his crew, they came and did their thing. Then Rip and his crew did their thing. B. Mitch, all these guys, I got a chance to cover them because I went from player to reporter to covering it. So I've been involved in the game, all 3 levels, high school, college, and pros, since I've been here as a broadcaster. And then we got into the talk thing, the TV thing, the ProView, all these things. So I've covered these guys. I've watched them work. I was at training camps. This is the first year I've never not been involved in everything. Yeah. So, and most of it, it was interesting because I got to see high success, all the Super Bowls. And then I've seen us get our teeth kicked in, and lose to Dallas 6 straight times.
That's my era.
Well, yeah, I've got kids your age. So, and I know what they went through. My oldest 32, 30, 27, they've seen very little. And I had only one rule in my house. I don't care who you can pull for anybody you want to pull for except Dallas. And so we had no problems. And, it's just the way it goes, man. You could be in Detroit. You could have been back in the day. We joked on Tampa, but see what happened. They flipped the script. So you don't have to stay stuck on stupid. If you do that on your own. And we've been through that. And it just seems like now there's a little crack in the armor. And it seems like we're becoming football centric instead of marketing centric. These people over there thought they was Disneyland, like it was Walt Disney, like they put on an amusement park. The only thing that is worth a damn is winning. You got to win. And so I don't care if it's preseason, postseason, summer league. We have to develop a culture of winning. And I know it sounds stupid, but the Ravens, they don't lose in preseason. The Patriots, they come out. There's certain clubs that I love their approach to the game. And it seems like we're getting closer to that. And next Saturday, it won't count, but it'll mean a hell of a lot to me because I'd like to snap their undefeated preseason streak with the Ravens just for GP. Just because we ain't got nothing else to do on a Saturday night, but go out and kick their ass, and get a win. To me, that's all we should be focused on.
And that's the competitive side that I appreciate from you, and that many people in the community appreciate from you. First off, Disco, what's going on, boss man? I see you. Kevin, I see you as well. If y'all have questions for Doc, we do have a couple. We're going to have a couple questions from the viewers as well, so you all can shoot them in there now, and I'll definitely keep them for you. But the competitive side, man, and this is the last question before we actually get into football. But the thing is your intensity. A lot of people, I'm not sure if everybody knows that you are within the motivation. You're a motivational speaker as well, outside of what you do with the Washington football team. And that kind of is something that I feel like I hear it. Once I found out like a few months ago, I understood like this is why I get so jolted and amped up when I hear you on the broadcasting calls. And it's a part of you. And I know you know it, but I want you to let the people know, like, what drives you and how did that get infused into your broadcasting career? Because there's a lot of people who look forward to your breakdowns and you getting hype as big plays are occurring with the Washington football team. No matter what record it is, no matter what game they're coming into, you always bring it. So what was that like for you, and how is it infused into your actual play-by-play or analysis breakdowns?
Well, I won my first championship at 11. And I was undefeated at 13. I won in high school, college, and the pros. I won on every level. To me, the only reason to play the game is to win it. And so when you're driven up that, my father's a Marine, mom was a nurse. He was gone most of the time. We didn't have a car. I mean, I just saw this as an opportunity. And then when I found out they actually pay you for it, or you can get education with it, the rest of it was just where we eating at. I mean, it was just about that. But I grew up, I didn't have technology. We had Pong. So I was outside. We were competing every day. This ain't just me. It's the whole neighborhood. Whether it's hide and go seek, whether it's jacks, we played ball in front of the garage, wiffle ball. We throw golf balls. We hit, everything was competitive.
Yeah.
We didn't sit around on our ass and push a button and look at the screen. I ain't mad at y'all for being young. You got opportunity. Well, hell, I had opportunity over the cats before me. They had the horse and buggy and stuff. We had we had gasoline cars. So every generation looks back and hates on the other. But for me, sports was our life. I mean, I didn't want to participate. My coach in the Dodgers, 11 years old, he took me to McDonald's every time we won. He said, here's our deal. We 18-2. Next guy drafted me talking about, hey, we plan on winning it all. We were 25-0. So for us, it was always, it ain't about playing. It's about winning. And so you do that thing. And then college, Rose Bowl, we kicked Ohio State's ass in Rose Bowl. I just don't know how to lose. I've lost, but I hated it. And I've lost in the biggest game. Also won in the biggest game. It's about how competitive are you? Then I translate that into the real life, because the games you can get hurt. I broke my arm my first year. I broke it twice. You may not be able to play the game. The game is a game, but life, man, that's 24/7, 365. So you're going to be broke on your own, or you're going to go out and fight. You're going to make an opportunity, or you're going to wait for somebody to give you an opportunity. I eat what I kill. I'm a hunter. And so I focused on navigating to figure out how I can be the best hunter. I want my refrigerator full of food because I don't know what's going down. So it's what you want to be, how you want to program yourself. I program myself to succeed. And I'm driven by it. I sleep standing up. So if my phone ring, I'm out the door in 10. I mean, I got a suit in the closet.
It's crazy because I 100% believe you.
Hey, man. No, this is who I am. I'm built for this. So if adversity comes, they take away your gig, they ain't stop me from doing what I do. They can stop me from being on their payroll. I just get on somebody else, or I create my own. But I will not be stopped. A big fella only guy can stop me, because I'm driven to do this thing the right way and help people do it. Like Glenn Harris gave me my first broadcast opportunity. That's my guy. James Brown, the guys before me, Glenn Brenner, George Michael, Ken Beatrice. I volunteered to go to ML. I say, hey, how can I intern? These cats want to come out and start on Monday night. I did high school games. I was down at Rob doing Baloo. I was like, just give me some equipment. Let me learn the trade. Because you have to learn it. You're not born into people. Are you born? You ain't born for nothing but to die. You got to create your skill set. And you got to go out there and be willing to lose it all in order to win. So, but that's me personally. It's not for everybody. At all. But for those that want to succeed, then I got a plan. It's building a game plan that works for you. And that's what I do.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, BK Sish, appreciate the follow and the subscription, man. I truly appreciate it. For those who don't understand, like the subscription goes a long way with the production, the content, and things like that. None of this goes to my pocket. It's always to the program and to the Trap or Dive. So I appreciate you And thank you for following and all that good stuff. We're just chopping up with Doc Walker, and we're about to get right into some football talk, man. So
you a better man than me, because I ain't gonna lie to him. It's going in my pocket. See, because it's got to go in my pocket because I got to eat. See, hey. I ain't telling nobody that. Hey, look, I got a subscription on Patreon. Patreon.com/Doc Walker. 7 go to me, 2 go to producer, 1 go to them. No, I'm in this. This is how it works. Never apologize for making money, because you're a pro. You're developing your skill set so you can be on demand. These people pay for Netflix. They pay for iTunes. They pay for everything. You earn the right for people to follow you because you bringing it. You ain't never got to apologize for that. Why you got to be broke? Everybody else is out here trying to hit it big. Don't ever do that. You want my advice? That's lesson number 1. Don't apologize for being an entrepreneur.
Hey, I respect it, and again, that's the motivational side of Doc, right? I'm just a humble guy. Like I have a day job, you know what I'm saying, and I respect.
I'm humble too. I got 2 jobs. I got a day job. I do all that too. I'm a janitor. I pick up. I do all that, but I'm not going to apologize for being. Do you think Jay-Z is apologizing? No, he's a creator. He's a creator. Prince and creators. These people are talent. You're a talent. So you're on a format now that people only wonder about this. So you call me, you say, hey, man, I want you on. I'm on. Because this is I understand it. I've been there. You know, I'm trying to get people out of the program. We've done over 150 people. We've done 47 Hall of Famers. You had to ask. You know, Coach Thompson schooled me. I was lucky to be in his world for 12 years every day, working next side to the GOAT and understanding what he went through. And I've been Black the whole time. So I've been the only African-American in a room. I've been in the press room and been one of 2. Me or Mike Wilbon might have been there. David Aldridge might have been there. I understand what's going on in this environment. And it has changed, but it's still the same in a lot of ways. So don't ever apologize for having a goal, for having a vision of knowing what you want.
All right. Hey,
I love that.
Yeah. So Dre, so listen, man, Kev, I'm sorry. That's the last time I apologize, and I'm taking back all my appreciation. You know what I'm saying, Kev, BK.
No, you appreciate it. You appreciate it.
But take the money.
You built the page.
Okay, I think I'm on the same page now. Okay, all right, we're following. But okay, all right. Hey, so I never understood. I never expected.
Thank you for the money. There you go.
Yeah, thank you for the money. I never expected this from Doc. All right, so we here. Let's get into the Washington football, man. I'm a hand the floor to you in a general sense. Your overall thoughts on the team. What has been the good and bad so far, at least within the first 2 weeks of the preseason? What are you saying that's sticking out to you?
The team is well coached. They are orderly. They had their first holding penalty last week. Here's what I judge the preseason. I judge IQ. No offsides. 1 holding penalty. No procedure penalties. I don't like late hits, but I understand as long as we deliver them. But it's about, like Belichick approaches it with New England, like the Ravens approach it. They haven't lost in preseason. It's what you make it. Some people that say, oh, it's only preseason, they don't understand. And most of them have never won anything. Ron Rivera is a champion. He's a linebacker. I prefer my head coaches, other than Coach Gibbs, who's a genius, to be on the defensive side. I think offensive people, that's disposable. But what I want my attitude is to be a defensive attitude. Because if we stop people, we can win with field goals. We had the MVP of the National Football League, our first Super Bowl, Mark Mosley. Everybody talks about how great. How can you be great if your field goal kicker's MVP, okay? We were damn good, and he was great, and our defense was balling. And our special teams was ferocious. So it takes everything. Weight and conditioning coach. I mean, our front office, Bobby Beathard, are you serious? Hey, man, we were locked and loaded. We had a professional owner because he wasn't experimenting. He had the Lakers. He was a horse breed. He understood how to be a pro owner. But the bottom line to it was that we won. We won games. We had a group that was very, very close, willing to die for each other. And so I look at this group now, and I'm pleased with what I've seen in certain areas. They got a ways to go. I expect to see a war Saturday against the Ravens, because we still have some question marks. And I want to see those question marks answered Saturday night.
Well, Doc, what are some of those question marks you have for the team right now?
Okay, the game to me is one thing. It's O-line, D-line. Everything else is an accessory. O-line, D-line. Our D-line, it ain't just the 4. You got to have 6 to 7. Same thing with the offense. So we get with Lucas and Sharp, we're getting one of the guys back. They had little COVID issues. Cosme, I like him, the kid out of Texas.
Yeah, Texas.
I was very concerned before I saw him in the first game, but I know they've been peppering him because he's going against 2 freaks every day in practice. That's how you get better. The Steelers have always been dominant in tackles because they're always dominant on defense and offensive line because they practice against each other. We're starting to get a little bit of that. We got Schweitzer, who I like a lot. Also brought Baby Bull back from Miami.
Yep, Eric Flowers.
So he started last week. So I look at 3 guards. I look for 3 tackles. I want to make sure that these big long arm freaks we got to tackle. And Cosme, he can play guard. All of them can play guard. Kid out of LSU, he could play guard. He's out at tackle. It's going to be a big test for him on 77 on Saturday. But they didn't scrimmage anybody, which I hated. But I understood why. We was the worst team tested in the beginning of camp with COVID. So I don't care what they tell you. I wouldn't have scrimmaged them. Nobody wanted to come see them. You can't be dead last on testing and have people, come on by my house. Half our team's infected. That ain't going to work. So they got over that. I give them a lot of credit for it. But it's still an issue. Everybody afraid to talk about it. But sooner or later, to me, if you're not complying, I can't have you run the rest of my team. And we might be 10 days away from that. But we'll see. Pfizer, I think somebody just came out with they call
Pfizer,
it FDA approved.
Moderna.
Yeah, Moderna.
Mm-hmm.
FDA approved. I'm like, yeah, when you in little league, you in elementary school, they put you behind in line and gave you a smallpox. You just went on, got your shot and went on. Now they think they scientists. Be whatever you want to be, but get the hell off the field and from around the team if you're not going to comply. This is pro football. They're paying you millions of dollars. If you want to go on principle, I respect it, but you got to get the hell away from my team. That's how it was involved. It'd be cutting, it'd be supermarkets the same way. Restaurants, y'all don't want to be vaccinated, fine. Go to a supermarket where everybody in there is unvaccinated and then take your chances with it.
The team first
but
mentality.
I'm not playing
it's all
with
about
this.
Yep.
Yeah, I ain't playing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And Dre, I want to get your opinion after Doc answered this one. It was a tweet that you made, Doc, and you mentioned don't sleep on number 8. He's coming off an injury. He might be the perfect combination of our other quarterbacks. Obviously, we understand that Ryan Fitzpatrick is the number 1 guy right now. And you made this statement.
Jamal's mic went out.
Yeah, I heard.
But,
I read his lips.
Okay.
I knew what he was saying. See,
All
here's
right.
the deal with that. I'm not into any hype. I don't have a horse in the race. I'm pulling for the burgundy and gold. Whoever's on the team, that's who I pull for. But I don't. My eyes don't lie to me. I've seen Fitz. I know who Fitz is. Fitz. Okay, cool.
Okay.
I like.
Can y'all hear me?
The
by
movement.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, we good. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
And so when I look at Heineke, I go, it got a little Joe T in him because he's highly competitive. But with my defense, that's too much of a risk for me. See, I don't need him to be Mike Vick. I got a defense. What I'm looking for, I'm more of the George Allen mindset with this team. Because when you lead with defense, you got to accept who you are and say, okay, let me not put my defense in a bad position. So what I need is execution. Fitz was all over the place. He could hit me if I was Will Chamberlain. And then Heineke, I'm not losing the ball, fumbling, he running around. And I love his athleticism. My defense is too good to play Russian roulette. Then 8 comes in. Nobody's talking about him. He's coming off injury. They got more invested in him than any of the 2 guys either way. And he's just calm, a combination of both. He can move. He can throw it. He's just calm. What I need with this defense, from what I've seen so far, is somebody to not give the game away as much as I need them to dominate the game.
So basically, Doc, from what I understand with that is that you believe Kyle Allen is the safest option of all 3 quarterbacks, not just Heineke, but all
based
3
on what I've seen.
Quarterbacks.
Again, my eyes don't lie. So I need to see more. He had a little bit of late start, but I even saw last year. I like his game. Look, you don't have one of the top guys. You're going to be in the quarterback market either way. So I'm looking at what helps my defense. How do I win? Which guy helps me win? If I'm trailing, I think he's going to be the game because he makes stuff happen. Okay, but I cannot turn the ball over. So I'm looking at it. If I go back, I'm a George Allen mindset right now because I'm playing to my strength. We finally now can get a return. We've been returnless. So now we're adding special teams back into our arsenal. We got people that can return kicks. Hallelujah. So now that comes back. That helps my defense. Now my offense, I want to pound it. To me, the game starts, I would tell the other team, we're running right at you the first 10 plays of the game. Stop it. Show me what you got. I'm coming up knocking people off the ball. All I'm doing is setting up play action. But I'm not interested in tricking you. I'm interested in finding out, can my horses knock your behind off the ball? If we can do that, it's going to be a long day because I got two guys I really trust that can get the thing done in their hand. And one of them wears 35. So all I'm saying right now, based on what I've seen, now that I have two tight ends that will physically block people, I'm ready to go. I love the receivers. One of the best haven't even played yet. So we have a plethora of talent outside. And those are the guys, once I get you dizzy, then I'm just throwing flurry. I'm Sugar Ray Leonard. Then you get nothing but flurry. That's what my speed guys do. But to establish the game, I'm not into deception. I want you to know we just bigger, stronger, and nastier than you are.
So speaking of tight ends, before we get into something that actually bothered me with this offense, and I wanted to get your opinion on this one. Kev asked a question about the tight end situation. He said, we know Logan has, and you mentioned you had two that you liked. We know Logan has progressed to a starting tight end. What do you think about the rest of the group? He specifically mentioned John Bates, Hemingway,
Bates is it.
And
that's the two guys.
Samus Reyes.
Yeah, Bates and Hemingway are that's it. It's unfortunate that Reyes was injured because I really wanted to see a lot. They got to find some way to hide him. I think his potential is unlimited. That's why you have a practice squad. But see, I have to beat the Chargers on opening day, and I don't think he can help me do that. So all I'm focused on is beating the Chargers. Don't sleep on them.
Oh, yeah.
That guy they have
100%.
at quarterback might be better than everybody. So I'm telling you, they run a defense. They got pressure people. So our baby at right tackle might have to be going up against a monster. But he sees monsters in practice. That's the benefit of having good players on your team. You never shocked on Sunday because you've seen it all during the week because we got freaks too. So that's why I think Cosby has a shot. Plus, he played at UT. So they're not afraid of the moment won't be too big. But I'm fundamentally this way. I want to be able to stop the run, which we couldn't. Everybody's talking about the Tampa game. They drove a dump truck down your throat, okay? I'm so sick of hearing about people applauding people for getting their ass whooped, all right? We have got to stop the run. Our linebacker position right now is the most questionable part on the team. I don't care if you have the fearsome foursome in front of you. You have got to be able to support the run better. Seeing Landon Collins flashing makes me feel really confident that they will be what I hope they can be by the time they play the Chargers.
Man, here's the dilemma that I'm facing. We talked about it, and I agree. Like, Saturday is going to be a test that I'm really looking forward to with the Ravens in Washington to see how Washington approaches this game and the mental preparedness and just the physical preparedness that they'll have against Baltimore. This starting offense, 6 drives, no touchdowns. The scoring is not a big deal. I don't think the scoring is a big deal, but here's where I think the issue lies, and I want to get your opinion on this part. Inside the 40 of the opponent's territory, I feel like there's too many mistakes, and the lack of execution is actually killing this team right now. Again, it's preseason, but I feel like if they don't fix it sooner rather than later, when they face a team like the Chargers, who has an offense and a sneaky defense that people aren't really considering because they were hurt last year, they'll be in trouble. And I want to get your opinion on, like, how serious are we taking the lack of execution and the mistakes made by this offense? Is it something that's raising your antennas, or is this like it'll get fixed?
Well, I'm not happy, but I understand it. First of all, the Bengals are much better than you think they are defensively. So it's combination sloppiness on our part and also playing people they're not punks. I do think that because you didn't have a scrimmage against another club, that's a negative. I do not like that. But I understood why they couldn't. Nobody would come to play you. So they have to make it up in practice. The staff is good enough, and I'm watching the development of certain players to know that they'll be ready. The question is that what approach? We hit everything in preseason. I'm sure that you're not seeing Coach Turner's best shots. What he's doing right now is trying to figure out what he can get out of people. I get that. So it's somewhat of a mirage, but still the one fundamental I want out of it is that I don't tolerate losing. I don't care what the score is. I don't care what the game plan. You got to rid yourself of mediocrity. This program has been stuck in mediocrity. The only way Ron can, he did it last year. He had cancer. And they won the East. Oh, the East wasn't nothing. Somebody had to win it. I don't care what it is, as long as I win it. And they did that. And that's what they're building on now. Now we got to elevate it. And they got much better players now than they had a year ago. If they avoid serious injury on Saturday, then I expect them to then go to work and really give us something on opening day that we'll be proud of. It doesn't mean you win, but I just see this organization football-wise going in the right direction.
Dre, I'm gonna pass this to you first, and then Doc, I want you to finish the answer. Dre, do they keep four running backs, or do they keep three? And you know, and so does Doc. We know why I'm asking this question about the boy Jaret Patterson. Do they keep three or do they keep four?
So for me personally, I would just keep three running backs. I know a lot of people, and I had this discussion with a couple of folks this week. Is some people claim that you need that veteran presence that a Peyton Barber brings on the team. Like they're saying, oh, I don't think Jaret Patterson's ready for Peyton Barber's role. I'm like, he's not ready to gain 2 yards in a short yardage situation. I mean, I know it sounds easier said than done, but at the same time, I just think if you're a professional, you can go out there and do that. I mean, if you have talent, you know, you can do it. The running back position, while, like I said, it sounds easier from the couch, but the running back position, I feel like it's one of those positions that you either have it or you don't. It's not like the quarterback position where you have to learn so much, you have to make everyone else better, or even the wide receiver position where you got to learn so many routes and this, that, and the third. Running backs, you should be able to get that sooner than later. And I feel like Jaret Patterson, he's made the case and he's shown his talent to the point where you can go into the season with three running backs. And I just think veteran presence at running back is overstated, especially, like I said, for me, I would go out there, let it stand with the three guys, JD, Antonio, and Jaret. Now, if it doesn't work in a couple of games, you're starting to see some kind of stagnant progress between the guys, then there's Peyton Barber sitting all over the street. I mean, his type is a dime a dozen in the NFL. So personally, I'll go with three running backs.
I don't dispute that. As long as 35 is in that mix, I'm good. I mean, 24, 35, 41. Hey, look, it doesn't really matter because to me, he's the one pure back. See, I was a guy, I'm an Adrian Peterson guy. I wanted a pure running back on my team.
I love Adrian.
You can have all this, what they call it, position flexibility, all you want. I don't give a damn about that. I want a back. Okay, I want a guy who can pick up blitz, and it's going to get me yards. Well, 35's got all that too. I love 24 as well. If he's healthy, he's a bad man. Now, I'm with you. I can go with anybody else. I can get a running back down at the mall. See, that's the one thing about it. A brother that can run it and it is a real back, I can pick him up at the mall. You know, I don't have to go through all day overthinking this because the offensive line they have is good enough to give a shot. Give me a good surge. We're going to work. I'm with you.
Absolutely. So appreciate everybody who's just tuning in, the new viewers. Again, if you guys have questions for Doc, just shoot it in the chat, and I'll make sure to you are first up in line. So let us know what you got going on. Anything that you want to say to Doc, let me know. So let's switch to the defensive side. Chase Young, man, we know what type of guy he is. And it goes unstated the presence that he is on that defensive line. But I will ask you, for you and yourself, what are the expectations for year two that you have for Chase Young? What do you expect him to be for this the Washington football team?
Well, if Montez Sweat is as good as I think he is, the sky's the limit. You need two freaks. Chase is as good as I've seen, but I saw Lawrence Taylor. So if you really want to step your game up, that's the guy you're playing at. That's the guy you're going for. You're thinking to yourself, the bar could be that high for him. But if it's just him, then a good offense like Tampa, they didn't have to double him. Okay, I guarantee you that ain't gonna happen this year because he is trained for that. It's so much easier if Sweat's doing what I think he's gonna do. Now you got problems because you got good interior push with the two Bamas from Alabama, not Bama's, two kids from Alabama.
Well, I mean, we from the city, so we know it wouldn't have been an insult anyway.
No, I want to be specific. They giving you a good push. I love Ioannidis and I love Tim Settle. So I got 4 Bulls that can come to you. Like what I see in 92, 97. But I feel good about it. The problem is that I got to get my linebackers. They got to jump up on the table and say, okay, here we are. And I'm giving them time. That's a tough situation to deal with because Jack's not showing you anything either. Everybody's hiding in preseason. But I like Brown. I like work ethic. 55 he's reckless. I need him taking blocks head on. And I'm going to give him time. I trust their system. And the secondary is freakish. So, man, I see the corners getting their hands on everything. We got length.
Surprise me.
Let me tell you something. He's a bad man. It's all predicated on 26 being 26. Landon Collins he's so good potentially that if he's all that, then 31 showed you what he was about last year. See, forget the drafting. This is what happens when you let guys compete and there's no predetermined who's going to be the man. No, let them play. And then you'll get guys that emerge. It's frightening how many people are making plays in that secondary. So, there'll be somebody that I haven't even mentioned. Somebody might have been nicked that'll come in and play. You have to see practice every day, which I no longer do. So I'm just telling you what I've seen them twice. I saw Friday 3 times now. And I just love order. When I was covering this team, the Indianapolis game sticks out so much. They had people run down the field, nobody covering them. You don't see that now. Somebody may physically catch a ball. Yeah, that's going to happen. But they're all over him. They're like
you're talking about the Alex Smith year, right?
No, before Alex Smith. It was this Colt McCoy. We went down there 3 years back.
Okay.
We were just dysfunctional. We had people that know what they want to do. We got people telling the coach what to do. All that's over. So when I tell you guys that I feel good about it, it's based on what I see. There's nothing too simple about order when you have a big group like this. They're professional from the time they come on the field to warm up until the time they leave. That's what Ron and his crew give you. Be happy you have that. Special team is now back in the game. Okay, we making field goals again. The kid out of Michigan, Cheeseman, snapping the ball like a freak. And that's what we need. So the process is coming. We punt like Mighty Joe Young. We got a lot of things. We got people now that can cover. See, that's why I like corners and linebackers that are fleet of foot. The kid out of Penn State I'm real high on. We got to have great coverage teams. We got to pin people back, sick this defense after them. You ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till they start blitzing. And see, that's where I think a lot of these young guys, they get are really going to shine. But we're not going to see that until the Chargers. Nobody's showing you nothing. I watched San Diego the other night just because I'm scouting. I'm looking. I want to see the Chargers. I want to see the backups because they're not playing the starters. And here's another thing, too, in the league. A lot of people are treating their players like crystal. They're not playing them. I love that because I'd play all mine. See, because we come in to tear your behind up, and you cannot get better at this game not playing. You can't do it. So I'm hoping we bust they behind, how they hold out all they people supposed to be so great they can't play in games. Keep doing that. Thank God Ron ain't like that.
Hey, Dre, that is interesting.
Yep. And, I wanted to ask Doc, too, because Doc is kind of juicing my excitement up. I like to think of myself as optimistic, but he's just getting me more jacked up right now. And the reason why, because I know Doc played for a legend in Joe Gibbs, and he's also covered this team just as long as we've been fans as well. So can you say that under Ron Rivera's coaching, his tutelage right now for the team, that this is the first time you can honestly say they have a professional staff since Joe Gibbs 2.0. Like even looking past Mike Shanahan, would you even go that far?
Well, here's the tough about Shanahan. Here's a mystery to me. Mike Shanahan can coach. And in case you didn't notice, 3 of the guys on his staff are head coaches now in the league. We got none of them. Okay. So no, that's one of the mysteries that when I write my book, it's going to be the chapter on it I'm most confused about. Because we had all them coaches on the sidelines right now, Green Bay, LA, wherever they were all here.
Yep.
You cannot look in the mirror.
And you fumbled every single one of them.
You don't get none of them. You don't keep one of them. Hey man, that's gonna be chapter 7 in my book. But I don't care because now it don't help me. So I don't play on the past long. That's over. What I'm looking at now is Chicago cut 2 of their linemen. We took their trash and turned it into a treasure. That's coaching. And the kids also decided, oh my God, I got cut. Somebody gave up on me. That ain't gonna never happen again. So it's combination coach and player. But I just think what Mascow has done right now with that offensive line, our tight ends, we took a quarterback. Look, I went from outside to inside. Going from quarterback to tight end, you can't do that alone. You have to have good coaching and tutelage. So once again, our secondary, it used to be a turnstile. Now we check people. So every area that I look at, I go, hey man, they got good people. The trainer, Vermilia, I've never met him, but I'll tell you what, our people stayed out. Now you see people that may be nicked, people are back. So we're healing, people recovering, the strength and conditioning program over there. I know those guys. They're one of the few carryovers. They get the job done. So I give credit where credit is due. What does that mean if they get the teeth kicked in the opener? It means I was wrong. But I don't believe that's going to happen. I think what you've got right now is stability, and you can build on it. And now it's up to the guys to make plays. 17, I love that kid. Yes. I'm telling you, Terry McLaurin, I love him, but they say 10, that's his boy, Buckeye boy. He wicked. 2 from UNC, vicious.
Is 17 top vicious. 10 in the NFL at his position?
I don't know, because in order to make those kind of statements, you have to research the other 9.
But I love
and if they ain't on my team, I ain't playing against them. I don't give a damn about them at all. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm stepping. I have no idea, and I don't care. All I care about is that we got one guy who is treacherous, and we know 10. Watch his body at work. He's a freak, and 2, he's just waiting for action. And I like 89 at Cam. I love Cam. I need some guy up there 6'4". So I got my red zone threat. I got my speed demons. I got my slot guy. I don't know if Humphries makes his team 19 the slot guy, but I like his action. He does what he does well, and you got to have somebody do it. Got 2 tight ends, maybe 3 I can get the ball to. I don't remember this team being as juiced. They have a lot of talent. Now they got to go out and prove that they can coordinate it and work together, sacrifice, and then be vigilant about kicking people's ass every week. If they do that, we got something special. If not, we just got guys making money.
Absolutely. So 2 things. Cole, appreciate you checking in. If you have one thing for Doc that you want to ask him, let us know, because I'm about to give him one more question, and then we could let him go, because I appreciate your time. You've been way more generous than what we originally planned for. So Doc, the last thing, because it was originally about Landon Collins, but you answered that.
Okay.
And the last thing was more so like your outlook on this Washington football 2021 season. How do you see them faring in the NFC East?
Well, again, if anybody out there been around here, y'all too young to have been listening to me over the years, but the only thing I predict is I'm hopeful I'm alive to see the first game. I think that either you have too much time on the show when people are trying to feel. I don't feel. I have no idea what they're going to do because I haven't seen them play. Haven't seen the team assembled. Don't know who's going to be playing when they do play them. You should have your ass kicked in the pro football if you're not 500. And that means you got to win 2 games every month. Or you should have your ass kicked because you're a professional. You've been working on this stuff, minicamp, OTA, all they talking about. So last year they won the division, which I was proud of. but the record stunk. So you got to make up your mind who you're going to be. If this team stays relatively healthy, and nobody's healthy the whole way, there's no reason for them not to get September under their belt. You got to be in control of September because that's all you have. And the whole schedule is loaded. The NFL is loaded. I love it. Oh, my God, this year's schedules. Everybody you play can beat you. And so you got to go into it one game, literally, Chargers. And then, you got a short week against somebody you haven't beaten since I had hair. So the Giants. So I'm just telling you right now, it can be frightening. I can give you a horror picture, and I can also give you something you smile about. But that's on them. I don't know what the hell they're going to do. All I can do is say, based on what I've seen, I like it. And I think we're going to be solid. We got enough talent. I don't understand what the offense will be. I don't know what he's going to do. But I do know this. We're going to be hard to throw on. Now, if we're hard to run on, we got a chance to win 3 of the 4 in September. To me, that's all I focus on. I want us to win every month by 1.
That's the Bill Parcells effect.
Making up stuff. And I ain't going to do that. Now, after the opener, you bring me back and I see him in live action. After 2 weeks, I can tell you exactly what's going to happen. But I'd be just wasting your time now and guessing. Now. I don't guess.
Okay. All right. So Cole did ask, he did have one question for you. And he said, what is the main difference, in your opinion, with Ron's culture and Jay's culture?
Well, the fact that the owner empowered, you can only do what you're allowed to do. And so if it's true that the owner drafted the first player, then he's running your football program with a low football IQ. That's I can't blame Jay for that. Everything I've heard, Jay didn't want it. So why is he on your team? So that tells you that you're not on the same page. So if you're not on the same page in the front office, it's going to trickle down. No different than if your parents are fighting, it's going to eventually affect the kids. So all I'm saying is that based on what I've heard, there was a difference of opinion on that. And now Doug Williams, I thought did a hell of a job. They brought in some nice talent. But see, you got to be all on the same page. Martin Mayhew, Ron Rivera, everybody involved in that front office cluster now seems to be on the same page. Now, the owner's been restricted from the building, so those guys are in charge. You now have a president of the organization that played in the NFL. Now, they say he's not involved in football. If you think that is true, then you crazy as a road lizard. Why would you have somebody that's played in the league and you not have them have any input, and yet you had people in there that have never played in the league and they were running the team? Hello? Who the hell's awake? So they got people over there now understand football. And I just think that I think they get along. You don't have to love everybody you work with. But in order to be successful in this league, you got to get along because you've got to be creative. If you're in friction, it stifles your creativity. And that's no good, no matter it's a family, a business, or whatever. Everybody's got to be open and honest. And we got to have one objective. See, that has always been a mixed signal to me. I thought they wanted to be in the marketing business. All I care about, I don't care what the name is. I don't care. I do care about the colors. This the burgundy and gold for me. To my blood run cold.
Absolutely.
And the symbol. Did you give me a hog out there? I want him filthy. Give me a filthy hog. That's my logo.
Okay.
I want a hog. Because here's what I'm talking about. If you win, it works. The football team, everybody thought it was a joke till they won the East. Okay. Now it's not so funny. The networks and they dumb behinds, they making fun of us, just calling us football team. That's okay. Keep doing it. Because if you climb that mountain and you stay together, they will be there at the end of it. If they do that, I have no idea if they will, but I'll tell you what I sense is that go ahead on and place your bets because I think we're going to be in the money. Now, maybe they prove me wrong, maybe they don't. But I'll know more Saturday, and I'll know more after the opener. After about the second week, you pretty much are who you look like. And I'm hopeful that we're going to be positive.
Absolutely. And as Dre mentioned before, like optimism is nothing wrong with that, and everybody's okay. Everybody's allowed to have the optimism. I'm definitely there for it. So 100%, I'm with you. I'm amped up. And I'm especially amped up for this Saturday game because for the obvious reason that you stated, man, Baltimore is a tough opponent. Thick and through, no matter what game it is, it can be an exhibition or regular season. We'll know where we stand a little bit further once that Saturday game comes.
So I love the Ravens' approach.
I love it.
I love their approach to football. If I had my druthers, I would scrimmage the Steelers every year like we used to, or the Colts, which was the Ravens. It's just they're about football. They believe in controlling the line of scrimmage. And that's the people I like to play because it's gonna be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they got the Ravens, and I do believe that this week, if I was a part of their offense, you just gotta get fed up. You're not scoring. You're not getting. You gotta punch some stuff in, man. The onus on how the Fitz looked, he looked average. You're not supposed to have that kind of experience look average. Heineken was exciting. But I don't need all that excitement. I need stability. And I don't need you turning the ball over and getting your head knocked off. And then Allen comes in, cool hand Luke, and he was playing with, he didn't have all the starters like the other guys had.
Yeah.
You want to see this thing get real? Flop it. Let him play with the starters. See, if you really want to know what's going on, then you see. But see, to me, it don't matter. I don't care who starts. I care who finishes.
Absolutely. So, Doc, man, again, I 100% appreciate your time. I appreciate the opportunity that you gave us to speak with you. You, like I said, we've known you for decades. I've known you for a decade. I'm young. I ain't going to say decades, but I've known you for at least a decade, man. I'm hearing you every single day, boss, man. So before we go, I want to let you get the opportunity to plug everything that you got going on. You mentioned your podcast on Patreon, but everything that you got going on, let the people know where they can find you, where they can hear you, all that good stuff, boss, man.
I'm still there, man. I'm still there. ProView, we're still rolling. We have a gig coming up September the, I think, 8th. We'll kick off our 20th year, going into our 20th year. And, patreon.com/Doc Walker for the podcast. And, and I'm here. I mean, I'm excited about doing whatever I get to do. And opportunities are going to always be there. If people actually want to get to the bottom of it. A lot of people don't, man. And I ain't mad at them whatsoever. I love the fact that people get intimidated. That's on them. That ain't on me. I'm gonna do what I've been doing, and I'm pulling for the team. Ain't no hate in my game. I just about the community for me, the DMV. This thing is important to me because of how the people have treated me since 1980, and so, I mean, on all corners. I mean, I'm when I say DMV, a lot of people throw out DC. They don't even go to DC. Right. See, we do business in the District of Columbia. You know what I'm saying? We down there from the middle schools, elementary schools, parks and recs, everything. And as far as out in Warrington, and out in Waldorf, Maryland, too. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about all the way up to Baltimore, the DMV. And that's what I embrace. And I'm real with it. And so this is just such a great place, man, a community of people. And we get through this COVID-19. If we can ever get back to what is, quote, was normal, then I want to be a part of whatever this community does. And right now it's about to get into football season. And the district hoops has flipped the deal. Caps. They always have a chance at it. And we got to stick with the Curly W's now. Because, man, we got blown out. We lost it. Since that Orioles sweep, team was gutted. But Davey got them fighting. So what I want to do, man, I grew up, I was blessed. I had Lakers and Dodgers, Bruins, Trojans. I thought everybody won. Yeah, I was wrong. Okay, so now I've had this. I had to deal with it. It's helped me mature, and now I'm in it, man, with these guys until we kiss the Lombardi, and then it's beaches and sands for me, and it's been nice. Yeah.
Absolutely. So the chat also appreciates you, man. They say thank you for the years of wisdom and entertainment. So everybody's paying giving you the flowers right now, boss man. So again,
I love it. I love it.
Yep.
Tell them, hey man, I do it. Like, let me see, Big Tony,
they can hear you.
Cowboy Clay. Yeah, all my people, man, that they know we ain't real, man. they didn't understand. And I'm starting tonight. I will plug this out. It's not set yet, but it's going to happen. My boy, Ralph Wesley, who's kind of a big thing, the former voice of the Wizards, and of course, Burgundy and Gold, my guy on sidelines. I'm going to be doing a night gig, not the specific day, but once a week. I'm going to drop the mic because it's just during the season. I'm not interested in working all year round. So as I age, but I am have
age
to connect
gracefully.
with people.
Don't forget that part.
Season.
Age gracefully.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, that's what you do, baby. Hey, look. No, I'm gonna drop something on Facebook. I'm gonna make it real easy, but I got to do something, man, because I do miss. I miss the volume. I miss the people. I having the interaction, and you can't. It's very difficult to do that on podcasts. But so I need a little bit of terrestrial. So I'm gonna come back at night.
Okay.
I gotta do something at night because Ken Beatrice, when I first got here, Sports Talk 7:30, and that's the only sports we had. Him and Glenn Harris. Can you believe that? We only had 2 outlets of sports.
Hey, Kevin told us.
Let's talk sports.
Sheehan, he told us at one point there was only I think it was one station, and it started with
That's it. WML.
Okay.
And Glenn Harris. Glenn Harris, man, WHUR. So that's keeping it real, man. And so I owe that to Glenn, to both Glens, Glenn Brenner, Glenn Harris, George Michael, Ken Beatrice, Frank Herzog, Larry Michael, all these guys, man, they've been through this. They're not, well, some of them still alive. So as long as you got breath in your lungs, man, it's time to go to work and give. And this is what you're doing. You're giving it. You've got an outlet now that people can jump to and they can get something out of. And everybody has to negotiate this and help each other with it because it's about bringing entertainment to the people because you got to laugh at some of this stuff too. I mean, seriously, I want to laugh far more than I ever educate. It's about laughter. It's about understanding how fortunate we are. But I can never forget what it's like to have been in those newsrooms and boxes when Dave Sims and I did Howard University football, and he was up in Philadelphia, and there must have been 15, 20 people at the old vet, and Dave Sims and I are there doing a broadcast with respective universities, HBCUs. Then we worked together on the Big East package. You didn't see 2 black men on the set. And then, Dave is now, he's the voice of the Mariners. He got to go all the way out to Pacific Northwest. He should be with Harry Palace had the Phillies at the time, but the Yankees or the Mets. The brother's fantastic, Dave Sims, but he got to go all the way to the Pacific Northwest. So we're constantly climbing and going through. It's not level. I've never seen it level. Don't expect it to be, but it's the opportunity that is there. And so I that's what I always remember. I mean, my girl Rhiannon Walker, man, with the Athletic, she's a monster. I mean, she is bringing it. And you know how hard it is to be a woman, be an African-American woman, this environment, she balling, man. And it's like, you don't get this way. That's why I reached out to her, I had her on the podcast. Look, everybody, you call me, I'm like, yo, when? I can tell you couldn't do that. The next week, I'm there. I'm more fired up about this than you are because to me, I'm so proud of the fact that you have a format to do this and you got people following you and they looking forward to it. And I'm checking you on social media and people are like, hey, man, get your groove on. That is, to me, that's what I'm proud of because Glenn extended it to me, my first show. Then he went to News 8 and I went with him. And I was the guy doing that. Everywhere he went, he retired. So now I'm doing my thing. And I'm like, I love Chris Baker. I saw something in Chris Baker. And when I was covering the team, I was also mentoring a lot of young guys because I was around them. I got to eat chow with them, walk to them. I ain't going to just sit there and talk about, would you watch on, did you see Netflix? I'm in there talking about guys trying to get them to understand the importance of not leaving this game broke and about the importance of putting everything they can into it. Don't cheat it because you're going to need it. Chris Baker has so much potential and he got a lot of it out, but he left some on the table. And we talked the other day and he admitted it. This dude was explosive. He's vicious, got the best attitude. He's nasty. I love him. And me and Coach Thompson and B. Mitch, we in a tent at camp, watching out there. I said, see, I just look at the game. My eyes don't lie. I said, oh my God, who is that? They said, that's 92, Chris Baker. Go right to do background on it. Okay, Penn State transferred down. Okay, if Penn State got you out of high school, you was blue chip. Yep. Okay, so he's blue chip. I knew that about his pedigree. They got in a little hassle, bar fight, whatever went down. And, but I knew this brother had great leverage. And I said, if I could get him in shape, he'll rule the world. And he admits this on the podcast. He said, he understood that, what we were talking about. My idea to identify something I see in you that you don't see in yourself and tell you, just like I did you. You up here telling people you don't want no money. I said, son, let me stop you in your tracks right now. Don't apologize. You know, and let me tell you, this ain't my vision. It's John Thompson's. Coach Thompson taught me. See, boy, this ain't free. You have a skill set. You develop yourself in a way that makes you marketable. And you take that marketability and you turn that into a future. So he told me, I'm telling you, and you'll tell someone else. I'm not high-siding you. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm suggesting that you understand what the bottom line to this means. Because nobody gets in this business for money. I'm telling you, you have to grind this thing out. And it will pay you if you love it and you give to it, because the people will demand you. You know, and so the people don't have any idea how powerful they are. That's why I always laugh when people say, oh man, we met. If you really didn't, you'd have told this whole town would have fallen apart. People would have known that you can't bully me out. You can't just do something out. See, but that's what I'm talking about. They don't understand their power. The power is within the people. They have the power, but most like politics. You see, Stacey Abrams, the group, the job they did, you got to sleep on the steps of the Capitol if you want homeless people to not be homeless. You have to extend yourself. It ain't about lip service. It's about action. So, my friend, if you ain't worth $4.99, if you ain't worth that, then they telling you something out loud, and deal with it. And go and get your construction gig, go drive Uber, or do, deliver food, do whatever you're going to do. But if you want to do what you're doing with this microphone, then you just got to do what you're doing. Dig in there with it, man, because they'll know. They can tell. People feed off of it. They know you ain't fake, and you ain't never got no disclosure. You called me up before to go, hey, man, this ain't no, that's a dude. I knew you hadn't listened to me. Nobody tells me what to say. I'm going to tell you, I'm like the guy they bring in for the operation. They prepping. They doing all the prep. They bring me in when it's time for surgery. Okay. I come in there with my hands up. They put the gloves on me and I go,
I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah, that's it. Let's go do this. Yeah. I ain't the guy prepping and making up the deal. That ain't me. I'm a surgeon. I'm coming in here to go work. So, but that's fun, man. And look, God bless you, you brothers and sisters of all nationalities. Let's protect each other first so we can all be on this earth, because we mess around as dumb as some of us are. We'll mess around and we'll be at the morgue. Let's survive this pandemic so we can get back to our quality of life.
Absolutely, man. And for those who are just checking in, oh my goodness, the viewers and shot up. Y'all didn't heard Doc. He's the motivational speaker. He's the coach I didn't know I needed. And the same thing with Dre. But this has been great, man. And I, at this point, I'm not gonna lie to you, I will be reaching out again. But also, when that Facebook thing comes about, don't hesitate to I don't have as many followers as you, but it doesn't matter. I will share it. I'll help out as much as I can. So don't hesitate to shoot that my way. So when that thing gets launched, I can help you out as well.
No, I'll let you know. I'll tell you the latest project that I've been involved with. That, and all kidding aside, I mean, we're gonna have fun. I live for fun. But Narcan, we've had last year there was over 400 deaths in the District of Columbia, and all over these opioids. Yeah. And this Narcan, I mean, it's almost like Vicks, nasal deal, hit your nose, somebody could be going out, you can save a life. So I pushed that today all throughout social media, because 411 to be exact died of opioid overdose. People are buying the street drugs, but they're being laced with fentanyl. So we're talking about something more powerful 50 to 100% more than heroin. So a lot of brothers and sisters getting caught off guard, and the large majority of them are African Americans. So I'm throwing that out. If y'all see it, retweet it, get the word out. In the District of Columbia, it's free. You can go to any old 4 locations, no ID. They ain't gonna strip search you. All you gotta do is go in there, tell them you're gonna have it, and keep it with you. Have it on you. See somebody tripping out, whatever, you could save a life. That's the initiative I'd love y'all to jump on. You might know somebody down and out. My father was an alcoholic. It happens in all families. It could be any drug addict, dope fiend, whatever. But we got to do something to help them, and that's my commitment. So if you can help me on Team Narcan, I would appreciate it.
Here we go. So I'll definitely, because it's new to me, I'll definitely be reaching out to see how I can help, because I have people.
Yeah, I threw it out on Twitter today.
Okay, perfect.
LinkedIn everywhere. Yeah,
perfect. All right. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna look at that, because I have people that's kind of affected by that. All right. Okay. So Doc.
All right, fellas. Well, I'm gonna light up.
Hey,
that means it's over. That means it's over. Yeah.
There we go.
All right, baby.
Here we go.
That's it.
Hey, appreciate you. You be safe, big dog, and until next time.
All right, dog.
And all that stuff.
All right, young thugs. Y'all can do it. Keep it real.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Peace.
Appreciate you, Doc.
All right, man. Hey, that was I did, like I said, that was the coach I didn't know I needed for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate Doc Walker. Dre.
Doc is a guy I could listen to. Yeah, and I was gonna say Doc is a guy I could just listen to all day talk. I mean, like I said, he's been on the radio ever since I was a little boy. Like I'm older than you, Jamal. So like that's how far we go back, and he's always been one of the most respected voices throughout the Washington community, because he always keeps it real. That's one thing about Doc. Like I remember when Sean Taylor was one of the first people I wanted to listen to his opinion to help, the fans get through, because that was a tough time for us fans going through that. And I wanted to hear Doc. I wanted to, because Doc was on the radio, I believe at the time, with B. Mitch and Big John Thompson. So those were guys that you got to look up to, because they were all real, and all 3 of those guys just always told you like it was. So it's just been a pleasure having him on and just listening to Doc just be real and be Doc.
100%, man. I can't agree more, bro. That was amazing. It really was. And I ain't gonna lie to you, it was probably outside of the football talk that everything else that we talked about, man, from his background and how he got back to doing what he was doing. And even the podcasting and just outside like the motivational thing, like you saw it in this interview, like you see that background in him. So it's incredible, man. It's incredible. All right. So Dre, we didn't get to talk too much about the Cincinnati Bengals, and we're not going to worry about that right now. We have a full show on Thursday where we'll be back. We'll be able to preview and kind of semi talk about, the team to date. And then heading into the Cincinnati game, heading into the Baltimore game. So we'll be back Thursday. For everybody that's still here, Cole, yeah, he is an uncle to us, man. So yeah, it's crazy. Like we talked to him like we knew him. But yeah, we'll be back Thursday. We'll be previewing the Ravens game with the Ravens reporter who covers the Ravens on the Locked On Ravens podcast network, and we'll preview them and also cover the team. We'll have call-ins as well. Call-ins are going to be back on Thursday as well, so you have that opportunity to get things off your chest. Roster things, competitions, what you're looking forward to on Saturday, all that good stuff. You call in, you talk to us, all that good stuff. So with that being said, I'll be back tomorrow. All 32 side, talking with the Las Vegas Raiders and the Day One fellas. And then Dre and I will be back on Thursday talking everything Washington football. So with that being said, I'm out of here. Thank you, T. Appreciate you checking in. With that being said, I'm out of here. Dre's out of here. And we will be back tomorrow. Peace.
Whole hard in the trenches. Ask a nigga what he benching. Triple digits, nigga. Don't forget to mention. Whole hard in the